Is muted. There we go. I was muted. My bad. What's up? It's Wero. Today we got locked in Jade Thompson. She's an amateur boxer out of California. If you don't follow her on Instagram, you definitely should. We'll get her Instagram in a minute. But I did want to touch base on one thing. I've had a couple people ask me privately why we're interviewing and doing things with non-Streetbeefs fighters. And the reason is because first and foremost, this is a fight podcast. So it's about the fighters, not so much just about Streetbeefs. And I want to be as inclusive as possible. So if you guys have any questions about that, hit me up. So I'm going to bring her in. Let's do it. What's up, buddy? How's it going?
How's it going? Excited to be here.
Good. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you jumping in. Yeah, let's just get right into it, Jade. Where are you from?
Originally, I'm from a small town in Oklahoma, about a couple hours from Texas. Hey, what's up, sunshine?
That's Sunshine.
And
She basically runs everything. So that's the homie.
Okay,
right
boss. That's the boss.
That's the boss.
All right.
That's the boss.
Yeah, I'm from Oklahoma. I moved to Los Angeles by myself when I was 19. And I've been here ever since. I love California. I love LA. This is my city for sure.
What made you move out there? Like, did you from just cause?
I went to school at a college here called FITM. It's a fashion institute. So I actually have a degree in fashion design.
What are you doing with
Yeah,
that?
so I came
That's
in.
dope.
I hated fashion, honestly. I liked like the creative side of it. But the industry itself is just not my cup of tea. I ended up falling into costuming for film and TV, and that's what I have been doing the last several, I don't know, 8 years or something. So I've been doing like costuming for film and TV.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's fun. It's getting a little more brutal hours wise. I think people underestimate like the kind of hours we're working on set. It's a lot of labor. I mean, 2 birthdays in a row now. I've worked like 18 to 20-hour days. And since pandemic, we don't really get lunch breaks on a lot of productions. It's bizarre. Trying to just get out of that now. I've actually started like training other people, teaching them how to box for fitness, to just maintain like a more flexible schedule because I would like to be in the gym more. And it's just been pretty hard, honestly, working in film to eat, sleep, and train like you need to as an athlete. Even as a person to just get those things in film, it's hard. So I'm doing a big life pivot right now.
Okay. I do want to jump back to the costuming for TV shows. Like, has there been any? Yeah, I've never met anybody. Do you design them? Do you build them? What do you do for that? Like, how's that work?
So our department's it's one of the bigger departments in film and TV. We have, there's multiple positions. Personally, what I do when I work in film and TV is I either work as a shopper, which is I literally get paid to go out and shop. And that sounds so fun, but it's usually under insane time crunch. You're sitting in LA traffic all day, stressed. You got to find these things that don't exist that the designer's asking for and make magic happen in no time. And also like please actors and actresses and what they want. So that can be stressful. And the other thing I do, which is less stressful, but the hours are shittier, is actually working on set with the actors. So I'll be the costume representative that's on set, tracking continuity to make sure they're in the right outfit for each scene. So the script days make sense when you're watching it back. So you clearly you don't want people like changing outfits 3 times in one script day on the show. You'd be like, what the fuck? So like my job is kind of make sure I'm tracking continuity. They're in the right outfits. They look good on screen. Yeah, basically just primping them all day on set.
That's so dope. So now the question that I'm sure everybody else is wondering, who do we know that you've dressed? Whose costume did you put together that we know? Like, say Game of Thrones.
I've worked.
Say Game of Thrones.
I wish. I love that show. Although I don't wish, because anytime I work on a show, like, it's not fun to watch it anymore. So I'm glad that one wasn't ruined for me.
Okay.
But yeah, watching the same take over and over again 30 times, that'll just ruin it for you. Yeah, you just don't feel like watching it edited after.
They really filmed the same scene 30 times?
They can, yeah, they can do it, and they'll do it from multiple angles. So it won't even be like, oh, the actor didn't get it right. Like, no, the actor may have like crushed it, and the camera needs to set up a different angle so you can see a different side of the scene or a different actor's coverage. So they'll do it over and over and over again until they've got all the coverage they need to edit it together so the viewer can feel like they're in the room. And yeah, the first bigger project I worked on was How to Get Away with Murder. So I was on that for a few seasons.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I worked on Space Jam. I worked on the new Space Jam with LeBron.
Shut the fuck up. Are you kidding me? Did you get to meet LeBron?
That was really fun. Yeah, he's so nice. Huge fan. Yeah, big fan of him after working on that.
That's so fucking cool. Yeah,
that one might be my favorite one. Honestly, like, actors are great, but working with an athlete, as someone who is an athlete, was really a different experience. So I really liked that.
Dude, that's sunshine. Hey, we got a couple comments coming in. So, who is someone she no longer likes to work for? Now, you, bro, you got a job that you have to maintain. So if you cannot answer that, don't hesitate. But you can also say who you really like to work with, and then privately after this, tell me who it is you hate now.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. There are a couple people. Honestly, there's no one that's been like, too ugly or anything. But I'm not gonna throw shade just because it's public and I don't want that on the record. So, but
for the record, though, it's about eight people that will ever watch this, so I think you're okay.
But the Viola Davis, honestly, man, that woman is incredible. Incredible.
What? You worked with her too?
Yeah, on How to Get Away with Murder. She's just an amazing person. She really made everyone feel like family. She has no ego. Super humble, very inviting. There was definitely some crew members who had didn't have family, and she had them over to have Thanksgiving with her at her place with her family. Like, she just is a boss, man. And when she does crying scenes, like, you better believe the crew is crying behind the monitor watching her. And then she just resets. She just resets. She's like back to one and does it again. And it's just heart-wrenching. And you're like, she deserves every award she's ever been given.
And so the bar was set very, very high for crying scenes by Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. So I don't see anybody beating that.
Yeah. Right. I can't imagine being an actor.
And here it goes. Free smoke, you're dumb. But you wouldn't let her. She would kick the shit out of you. Yeah. There would be no letting. Yeah, y'all better check. What's your Instagram? Plug your IG real quick so they can go see you beat people up. She's fast, bro. She's fast as fuck.
In the chat, or
you just say it. It's a Good Morning Freedom or something like that? Yeah,
it's Good Morning Freedom. It's all spelled right. It's all together. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Free smoke. You got to be a certain height to ride that ride on, boy.
I'm not. I'm married to boxing.
I got him, coach. Yep. Nah, these guys are cool. They're just bullshit. So this dude right here, you see my logo, right? The Wero logo with the brass number, the one that's right there. He designed that shit. He put that together, and it looks super simple, but he had 40 designs.
Oh no. I've done a little or I've tried a little graphic design. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Fuck no. He's so good at it. So, okay.
Yeah.
She plugged your IG right there.
Oh, nice. Okay. There it is. Good morning, freedom.
You're welcome for your 2 more followers.
I'll take them.
Yeah, hell yeah. So, okay. So you're 19. You moved out to LA. Did you box or anything before that? Did you?
No.
No,
I did play sports. I played basketball and track. All growing up, I played basketball. And I did track in middle school and high school. I also was in drumline. I was in band. I did a lot of shit. So I just,
you look like,
I don't know,
you look like
busy.
a band kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. I was in drumline. I wasn't just
just a normal band kid.
Just a band kid. Yeah.
I feel that. So when did you pick up boxing? When did martial arts start appealing to you?
I always liked it. Like I always watched UFC and stuff, probably from like middle school onwards. It's funny, my sister and I both had like been in fights in school and been like suspended for it. And it never like, I mean, I wasn't like trying to go start shit or anything, but there would just be fucking assholes that, I just wouldn't agree with, and they would start shit and I would finish it. So, I feel like if I had like a boxing town or a boxing gym in the town that I grew up in, like I definitely would have checked it out. But I didn't even know it was like a possibility really. And then when I moved here at 19, I was broke. I was dead broke. I mean, I grew up in a small town in Oklahoma. Everything's dirt cheap there. And then you come to LA and I was paying like crazy rent prices for a shoebox, sharing a bedroom. I shared a bedroom until I was like 23 or something. Like literally just like to make ends meet and like keep my head above water.
Yeah. So
like the idea of like paying for a gym membership or something was like not even on the radar. And then after I started my career in film and well, first of all, after I got my own room, that was like the first priority.
Yeah, that's a good priority. So did you share?
I started making money.
With somebody you knew? Did you share with somebody you knew? Okay, so
yeah, actually, I shared. It's like no, thank God. No, it's someone I consider. He's a lot like a brother to me. I actually grew up with him in Oklahoma, and then he moved out here about a year or so after I did. And so we moved into this apartment and we ended up needing to get another roommate. So like he moved into this room with me, which is like, it's twice the size of the other room. And we just fucking shared that shit forever. For years. It was like years, literally. And we were both just like, well, this is what it is.
Did he move out there for the same thing? Like the actor show business thing?
No, honestly, he moved out here to like save my ass because like I couldn't afford to pay my rent and I couldn't find a roommate.
That's a good.
And then it's super good friend. Like he came out here. He was like, he wasn't. I don't know. He was in college at the time in Oklahoma, and he was just not enjoying what he just didn't really know exactly what he wanted to major in. He just felt like he was throwing money away. So like, he was like, he saw it as an opportunity to like, try something new, explore life a little more, figure it out. Came out here, had a job a week later, and I haven't worried about it since. So yeah, definitely one of my closest friends. He's for sure awesome. Like a brother to me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when you did finally get your gym membership, let's start there. Yeah. You get your gym membership, you get in there. How long was it before they were like, okay, you're ready to fight? How long did you train?
Oh God, I wasn't even like that either. I was like fighting them to fight. Like I started at some like shitty local cardio boxing gym that was like up the street from me. Nothing wrong with it. Like, I mean, at first I didn't know I was getting into either. It was great. I walked in, I learned some basics. like, I don't know, 6 weeks in, I already knew like I wanted to compete. Like I've always been a really competitive person. And then from there, the goal was always get good enough to fight that right away. Like, but I outgrew that gym. I outgrew my original coach. And then I found a new coach. Basically, I basically found a fight coach. I got so lucky that it just like all kind of fell into place at the same time. And about, I don't know, 2-3 months after training with him, we had my first fight. So I think it was probably about like, it was about a year into boxing before I had a fight. But I'd say like the first 6 months of it were at, that cardio boxing gym. And then the second half was like working with the actual coach that like knew what he was fucking talking about. So.
Yeah. And that's a question that was just asked. What do you mean by you outgrew your coach? I think you just answered that with working with a coach that knew what he was talking about. Because you said fitness gym. So it's probably not very technique oriented. It's just keep throwing until you lose weight.
Yeah. I mean, the first coach too, he's great at teaching beginners. I'll give him that. Like, I had solid basic understanding of punches and how to throw them when I started working with Josue. So like there was like that level to build on. So I would give them like credit for that. I lost some weight when I joined that first gym, which was great. I got more in shape. So like there were positives coming out of that. And clearly I wasn't going to fight right away when I just picked up a pair of boxing gloves, So like I needed that like time to like incubate a little bit. And there was like some other things with the first coach too that like didn't really like sit well with me. There were certain things that he would say that like just pissed me off that were kind of like misogynistic in nature about like nobody wants to watch women's boxing or like, like basically you ain't shit. Like a lot of like that, like he would use like, you're not good to like motivate me, but like that just made me shut down. It made me mad. It made me be like, fuck you. I don't want to work with you. People motivate in different ways. And I think it takes like a coach who really knows what they're doing to figure out what motivates you as a fighter. Like a good coach will be able to say like, oh, this person needs a drill sergeant. This person needs support. This person needs this, that, and the other. Like they know when to push you and when to pick you up. And I feel like that first coach he didn't have that. It went over his head.
Hey, looks like the audio is coming in choppy again.
Oh no. Is it doing it?
It is. Let's see. Hold on. Talk again.
Check.
Yep. Still. We had this problem right before the podcast started. I don't know what happened.
I know. I mean, I wonder if it'll go back to being clear again.
Try power those beats off and power them back on if you could. Or just disconnect the Bluetooth real quick. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, let me disconnect it.
But while you do that, I'll talk about some of these comments right here. Explain. So Bushido Zed, that's Alex. He is one of the guys that helps manage and run the majority of Streetbeefs West Coast. He's a good friend of mine. He's dope. Also, you sound like Wally. Apparently, with that
I do. All right. So can you hear me? Are we a little better, or is it still shitty?
So it's better now, so we should be okay.
Okay, good. Okay, great. Well, I'll just power down and do that again if it happens again.
Okay. So before boxing, when you first started training with that first coach, did you think about jumping into any other martial arts, or was it your mind always been married to boxing, or did you date jiu-jitsu or any of the other martial arts a little bit?
I always wanted to try boxing. But once I started boxing though, when I was at that cardio gym, I started like I did like a class pass thing with a friend at like an MMA gym.
Jade, it's doing it again. Just can you kill him and just try to see if we can just do this? Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. Let's just run that.
Okay. Well,
Go ahead.
yeah, I when I first started at that cardio boxing gym, I did like a class pass with a friend at in an MMA gym and did like an MMA class, and I had fun. Um, but I actually after that too, before I started working with Josue, I did like do 6 weeks of jujitsu. I did like another 6 week challenge at a jujitsu gym and like tried that. Um, not for me. It's so difficult. I have like so much respect for it. But I just like throwing hands. I just like throwing hands. I don't want to do anything else. That's all I want to
I
do.
feel that. Hey, some people are like that. Sunshine says, "What weight is she?" Now, we've all been thinking this question, but we're men. We're not allowed to ask that. So I'm really glad she did.
Anything in combat sports, it's like not even a thing.
I'm just kidding. So, what's your weight class? What do you weigh?
I'm at 136 right now. I would like to be fighting at 125, but I've been having a little trouble getting my weight down, to be honest. So I might just move up to 132 until I figure out kind of what's going on there. Basically, I think my hormones are out of balance. I'm having trouble like cutting the weight down.
I would say don't force it. I've had some major weight cuts, and if it's just not going to go, don't force it. It'll make you feel like shit.
Yeah.
Because I used to fight at 165, but walk around closer to 185.
Yeah,
And,
that's a huge jump.
It's a massive cut, and you don't have a lot of body fat on you anyway, so there's not a whole bunch to cut there. Like you're going to be cutting muscle. You don't want to do that. I would just scrap it, whatever you're close to your walk around weight is. You know?
My coach, he always is saying, you know, to him, it doesn't really matter what weight we fight at. Whatever weight I land at when my cardio is peak and ready to fight is the weight we're gonna fight at. So if I end up losing more weight because you know I'm getting my cardio up, great. If I don't, great. We'll fight at 132, but it's probably around there.
Sunshine looked like she's trying to match you up already. She's one of the matchmakers. Because as you can imagine, there's not a whole bunch of women fighters in Streetbeefs. We have, I think, maybe 10 tops. Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all. It's hard to find sparring partners, honestly. I can imagine. I mean, in like just standard boxing and like finding girls finding girls in general, but then finding girls like that are in your weight class. That's like, you know, most of the time I pretty much my coach will let me spar anyone that's like 150 pounds or less. It's guys or girls, anyone that we can get that's like even 15 pounds like in range. So
yeah, I've seen a couple of your videos. You're in there tuning up dudes and chicks, just whoever steps in there with you. Yeah. That cross, man, she got a cross that ain't no joke. Zed asked a question. Are you fighting for a particular organization?
No. So what I will be doing is I'll be competing under USA Boxing. We'll take smokers or we'll take whatever we can get, really. I mean, a couple of smokers would be nice, honestly, to just get a little more experience after having 2 years off from pandemic. California's the regulations and the rules have been so strict that USA Boxing, I think, has struggled to figure out how to work around them through pandemic. And this year is the first year it's really starting to open up again. So we're excited that there's a bunch of shit on the horizon that we can work towards now, that we can actually like look forward to. The sparring issue. I mean, get in there with the guys. Honestly, like if you can find a guy, smaller guys, it's the best. It's not the best. It's the best thing because like they are going to hit harder. Sometimes they will be faster if they're experienced. And if you can hang with them, you can hang with anyone that gets in the ring with you.
So Streetbeefs West Coast has a little issue with California because they kicked us out. So the laws are too strict. Most of the states around here don't have laws saying you are not allowed to jump in your backyard with a bunch of friends and beat each other up.
Right.
But California gets really, really strict about it because their laws are really strict on that type of stuff. So we had a whole cage built in Ohio, and it was beautiful. And they sent letters saying we can't do that anymore. Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Although I will say Ojai is kind of a bougie area, so y'all picked somewhere that people were definitely going to complain.
It was way out in the woods, though. Like, there was almost no way they'd been able to know. Yeah.
That's so funny, though.
So, I'm going to send you the DLK Comms.
So y'all get it. I mean, UFC boxing, I think, struggled to figure out like a testing protocol, COVID testing, or you have to be vaccinated to compete. And what's kind of shitty is like they allowed like kids to start competing, and then I think there was a couple of masters fights as well, like which is 35 and up that were allowed to compete. And then I was like, well, just fuck all us in the middle, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I guess we don't get it. Okay.
Yeah, I think it sounds like they wanted to try with smaller groups to test it before they give everybody the go. But still, California can suck my balls. Not a fan.
Yeah, they've been a pain in the ass, and also for like gyms too. Like my gym, like our gym got fined for, I don't know, having classes during pandemic. Like, it was when some of the regulations were lifted, like in a window it was like doing pretty good, and they still got fined. So I mean, it is. And I got friends in Canada, and they're even worse there up in Vancouver. I don't know if y'all heard about that. Like they're just fucking their gyms and fucking their athletes. They're like not letting like competitions happen. I mean, I'm talking like national champion like athletes like not being able to. It's just crazy.
That's how they pay their bills. Yeah, they're locking down a lot of shit that doesn't need to be locked down. I am very fortunate that Arizona is a little bit more laxed in that area. So like we don't have a mask mandate or anything like that. We just kind of do it.
Nevada, y'all guys. No fucks given. We're fighting every day.
Zero.
No mask.
Especially Nevada, man. If there's money involved, as long as they're getting their cut, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's pop back just a little bit. Real quick. Sunshine. Yes, I invited her to Streetbeefs West Coast. So she has an invite. If she clicked on it, then she's in. So you can send it directly to her. I'm sure she'll answer you running up in her DMs, but I can't promise that she'll answer any of you other guys.
I mean, I could talk boxing all day. Honestly, if you hit me up about sports questions or just commentary or shit about boxing, I'm pretty good about replying. Anything else, small talk or like flirting or anything, no promises. But
yeah, unless you're me, because I ran right up in those DMs. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't. So yeah, so we're at 19 years old. You're boxing, doing your thing. You're about a year in. And how old are you right now?
I turned 30 in September.
30 in September. Okay. So you, about a year into that boxing and training, you take your first fight. Your nerves moving up to that first fight. What was that like for you?
The fight camp, I felt pretty good, honestly. Like I didn't feel like terribly nervous.
So not at all, huh?
Not during like the preparation phase. I feel like I kind of had like moments of like anxiety, just like of the unknown, because not knowing who I was going to be fighting or anything about it. Like when you don't know what you're preparing for, like it's kind of like a blessing and a curse. Because like the curse side is like what how experienced are they, like what style of fighting are they, what kind of boxer are they, like are they a brawler, are they going to actually box me? But the blessing is that like when you don't know what you're preparing for, you just bust ass, period. Like I don't know what I'm getting ready for, but I just got to be fucking ready. So you just bust ass. So I was kind of just kept my head down and we worked our asses off. And then the day of the fight though, that was definitely like an anxiety-inducing moment, though, for sure. I feel
How'd
like
you sleep the night before?
I actually slept pretty good because I knew I wasn't fighting until the following night. So I still had a full day before I had to really start worrying about it. But definitely we got there, and then we thought she wasn't going to show up too. There was a point where we were like, wait, she's like 2 hours late. She was supposed to be here forever ago. She's not here. And I was like, fuck. I swear to God, if I just spent like 6 weeks busting ass, I'm here. I'm ready to go. We're here right now. And she just doesn't show. That would suck. And then she walks in like, I don't know, maybe an hour before we are going to fight. And like, she was like wearing lipstick, which no offense, like, but like, as soon as we saw she was wearing lipstick, we were like, oh Lord, like this poor girl.
Had to get tuned up. Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's super common for people not to show up. I had several fights back in the day, like 10 years ago. I show up and my opponents didn't show up. I just go home and see if I can reschedule for soon, you know? And then not knowing who your opponent is.
So disrespectful.
Very.
The amount of time and energy, the weight cuts, everything that people do to just pull out before is just so fucking disrespectful of your opponent and the sport.
Absolutely. I can't handle that. We have a lot of that happening in Streetbeefs because, I mean, nobody's career is on the line. So a lot of these people will sign up and then just not show up.
Yeah.
And that sucks a lot, especially, you know.
But you get yourself all worked up and like pumped up for it. And then you get there and it's like a complete like adrenaline dump. And you're like, fuck.
So let's get into that part. Tell everybody how that fight went. You step in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, I'll even tell you funny bits before, because even still seeing that, I just still was nervous. But to fight in front of people, it was like club. It was like full of fucking people. Was a first for me, my first fight, first experience like that. So like I still had nerves, even if we felt confident in me, and like especially after seeing her, like we were like we got this. But before they announced my name, I remember just being like, they're literally announcing me. I'm backstage and I look over at my coach and I'm like, what happens if I throw up in there? He's like,
you lose.
He goes, you won't, it's fine. And he just pushes me out into the light. He goes, and then we walk all the way out there. I do my, they announced me first. So I'm the first one in the ring. I do my, warm up lap around the ring, come back to the corner and like lean over to my coach. And I'm like, my legs are jello. They're jello. And he's like, no, they're not. Get in there. It's fine.
No, they're not. Yeah.
But like, he knew. I mean, afterwards he told me like he was as nervous as me because like he wants me to do well, and it's his first time cornering a fighter as well. So he was nervous too, but he knew like I can't show her that. Like I gotta be confident, so confident in her that she doesn't like feel, anything differently about herself. So yeah, I mean, the bell rang. She looked scared. Like as soon as she got in the ring, she looked like she wished she was not in the ring. And I was like, it's already over. The fight is already won. Like she looked terrified. And honestly, I'd been during my fight camp, like I'd been sparring some tough fucking bitches, like tough girls, like being dropped with body shots. Like, I mean, these girls had a lot of weight on me, experience on me, and like they were giving me real fucking work. So when I get in there with this girl and she was like almost scared to even punch me, I was confused. Like the first like 10 seconds, I was a little like, but she's not going to come at me. Like I have to like chase her. Like I was so like confused. And then, I don't know. Then after that, like warmed up and I was just like, okay, well, I've got to do what I came here to do, whether she is or not. So like, I just fucking started boxing, took my time in there, like got her in the corner a couple of times and then ended with a TKO in 80 seconds. And that was that. So, I mean, probably the best first fight experience someone could have, but also I was honestly disappointed. So I was like, I worked so fucking hard. Like, I felt like that was like, I wanted to actually experience it more. And then, after the guy that was there, my buddy Josh, who was assisting my coach in the corner, he asked him, because he's cornered many fighters. He asked my coach, he's like, how was it cornering your first fight? And coach was like, she didn't even make it to the corner. I didn't even get to do my job. What are you talking about?
So was that her first fight as well? Do you know?
Oh, for sure. And probably last. Do
you know for sure it was her last? Because the guy I fought my first fight, that's the only fight he ever did. He retired after that. Pedro Lopez. I'll never forget this dude. I don't remember the fight because it wasn't on film. But
I don't know what happened to her. She was sweet. I did feel bad. Yeah, I feel bad. 1-0 right now. Right after I did that fight, pandemic, lockdown right away. Everything shut down. So
So you've been training for 2 years now, just dying to get back in that ring and not able to.
Yeah, the first year during pandemic, my coach and I, we were training twice a day to level up. There's nothing else to do. I was like, this is what I want to do. I'm going to do this twice a day, do 2 a days, fucking invest in boxing while I have all this time. And then the last year we've been able to spar, which like the moment I was able to spar again, when gyms open, we could be in a ring again. And like, that was the best feeling in the world. Like just being able to fucking throw hands again. And then now, like I said, this year is the first year it's like actually opening up in California. Although I'll be honest, like I'm at a point now where I'm so fucking tired of waiting. I don't care if we have to travel. I don't care what we have to do, but we're fucking fighting this year and we're fighting a lot.
Have you thought about going to other states?
Yeah, definitely have. I mean, we're right close to Arizona and Nevada. So it's like, it's definitely on the table. So basically anywhere. I mean, I know there's some stuff in Canada too. I've got friends up in Vancouver, like I said. So like there's one of the world's only like all female fight cards up there, which is pretty fucking dope.
That's fucking dope. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. So they got women at all levels, all ages, all weight classes. And it's just awesome. Yeah. Which honestly, if y'all got girls and Streetbeefs interested in shit, I mean, that's a dope one too. If they're boxing specific.
This one right here, she just mentioned Fierce Honey. She's your weight class, and BOK Prime is in California, and they're doing an event March 5th, and it's on pay-per-view.
Wait, is it March 5th? Where is it at?
Maybe 6th. I'm not sure. Sunshine, if you can DM her the details of it. Yeah, I think is it out of LA? I think it is. I think it's like right there.
It's one we recently got hit up about at Sweet Science is doing a show. It's boxing. So I wasn't sure if that is the same thing.
Oh, this one be May. Okay, May. Okay. Yeah. Oh, March 12th in Oakland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Free Smoke. She doesn't want anything to do with kicking and elbowing and kneeing and shit.
I just like throwing hands, my friend.
Yeah. Don't call him your friend. You're gonna start a fire you can't put out. But yeah, no, that's dope. So you're absolutely dead set on fighting this year. Now,
yeah, I want to fight a lot. We want to fight. As soon as we start, we don't want to stop. I just want to line them up. Like, I mean, and honestly, in amateur boxing, that's how it really is. A lot of times, like, it's not the same as like the pro arena where you camp for 6 weeks, you fight, you have a couple months off, you come back, you get back in shape, you camp, you fight. Amateurs is like, pre-pandemic, it would be like there was shit every weekend. You would show up, you would fight, you would stay in shape all year round, and you would every fucking weekend, every chance that there was someone you could get pre-match. As a girl, you kind of have to be pre-match because it's like the odds of just showing up and having someone in your weight is like so rare and hard. So like anymore, they really pre-match us. So basically anytime you could get pre-matched, it's like you fucking show up and you just fucking fight. So we're hoping, that's really what we want to do. It's kind of a pain because like, the stuff going on in LA, it's just starting. And there's kind of few and far between. It's not like it was yet before, where it's every weekend there's, smokers or shows or competitions. So, I mean, we'll take what we can get and see how it goes. Maybe travel to Northern California. I know there's more stuff going on up there. Maybe see what's going on in Nevada. I mean, Vegas is only 3 hours from us. That's not a bad drive for a day trip. So, you know, things that like we can get to, line things up. Hopefully we can do that.
Yeah. Now that you accepted the Streetbeefs West Coast invite, like if you're going to be in one of these other cities, post it. Like I'm sure there's people that would love to go to your fights, and like we all tend to support each other. So now that you're part of the group, I mean, as long as you're not an asshole, we'll like you.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Free Smoke. Is she gonna be at the Streetbeefs West Coast event in March? My man ain't planning on being here, but if you're gonna be here, I bet he'll make that drive. Yeah. I actually asked her if she wanted to go. She's got something. He's looking in the house. The chat looking pretty active. Oh, go get your phone Free Smoke. Yeah. And Sunshine is probably one of the best promoters in the business, man. She constantly promoting people, everybody. She will throw your shit all over the Instagram and everything.
Hell yeah.
So you're absolutely fighting this year, no matter what you got to do.
Yeah. Yes.
Probably for the next few years. Do you have an end goal with this, or do you just want to get in as much boxing as you possibly can? Are you trying to go pro? What are you and your coaches talking about?
I do want to go pro. I started late, which is kind of why. I mean, in general, like I'm disciplined as fuck and motivated. Like I'm easily motivated. I'm easily self-motivated. But I mean, as soon as I knew, like I told you, 6 weeks in, I wanted to compete, like boxing. I was like, I love this. I want to do it. I'm going to get good at it. I don't do shit to half-ass it. I want to be the best, period. So like, basically just started busting ass from there, training once a day, every day, twice a day, whatever, as much as I possibly could, because I felt like I was playing catch up because I started so late. I still have a lot of anxiety about like my age and my goals. And I feel like it's like, which one's gonna fucking beat the clock, I guess. Like, can I meet goals before I age out of, XYZ? But yeah, I mean, the goal is like over the next couple of years to get as much amateur experience as possible. I want an amateur pedigree. Like I really do. I want a good amateur record. I want that experience. I want to keep honing my craft. I mean, I'm a perfectionist. Like I want to be fucking great. So I need all the practice I can get and the experience and the fights and whatever, all of it. I want all of it. I do want to go pro. So, that's looking like probably we want to do that somewhere in like 3 years because, 33, that's old for guys. It's not that old for, female professional boxers. Pretty much anyone that's holding a belt right now is like 35 to 40 years old.
Yeah.
Women peak a lot older and there's a lot less competition in the women's pro arena. There's just not as many women doing it. So like, it's not nearly as competitive where you always have like, these young people coming up and pushing the older ones out. It's not like that in women's boxing. Not yet. I hope it will be one day. I really do. Yeah. But for now, it's kind of like, it's a motivator because it's like, this is possible. This is fucking possible. So I'm going to put in the work over the next 3 years and see where we land and see what the next step is. But definitely want to do this and like do it as much as I can and get as much boxing in as possible and see how far I can go. That's definitely the goal.
That's dope. And it's legitimately feasible. Like you said, women's boxing, it's not as saturated. And as far as the age thing, we got a dude that's still legitimately competing at 50 years old.
Yeah.
So, it can be done. And he's old. He's so old. So old.
He's gonna love that.
Yeah. Well, you give him shit all the time. Sunshine just posted this. So the BLK Prime, that is a legit fight in a legit boxing ring, and they do a pay-per-view, and they pay you for your travel expenses, hotel, time, stuff like that.
Is this Streetbeefs or boxing? Like
it's boxing. It's called BLK Prime, so it's a boxing organization. But Streetbeefs is associated with it.
okay.
So I don't know that they're partners or not. I actually, for anybody who didn't know, Scarface has agreed to be on this podcast Friday, so we'll have him on, and that's one of the things we'll ask him is that partnership, because a lot of us are pretty curious about it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
let's see.
Yeah, and Free Smoke said he didn't start till he was 24. She was, I think you said 19 when you first picked up a pair of gloves. So,
yeah. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, it's a boxing promotion. So I think Sunshine, she's gonna find you. She'll DM you. She'll send you some links and everything like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you'll be able to see. It's a boxing promotion. They have it. From what I've heard from everybody that goes there and fights for them, it's legit. It's a nice little setup. Everybody's super cool. It's pretty casual. You just get in there, you do your thing.
Right.
They pay you to be out there for 3 days.
So, I mean, is it considered pro or no? Because you're paid for a pre-fight interview. You're not paid for the fight.
Correct.
Gotcha. There's like, oh, let's see your loopholes over here.
Yeah, Clever. It's not a pro, or like it's not. I don't know if they have pros on there, but just technically, you're still considered amateur if you fight there.
Right. Is it sanctioned? Very curious.
It is. Yep, it's sanctioned.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty legit. Yeah, her versus Fierce Honey would be such a cool match. When you get done here, look up Streetbeefs Fierce Honey on YouTube. Okay. I'll send you a couple of her fights. Yeah.
Yeah, send them.
Yeah, that'd be a
good been having you like send me all the links. I'm like, send it over. You're like, oh, this.
You're gonna get a lot of DMs after this. Not gonna lie. Just don't check Free Smokes for like a week, because he's gonna send a lot. Yeah.
Let it build up, curate.
Yeah, let him talk to himself,
and then read it.
You know, guys be talking to themselves in your DMs. Let him run that for a little bit. Yeah. So, is there anything you want to plug? Anything you want to mention before we go out?
Yeah. I mean, my buddy Josh just opened a gym, Fighter Boxing Club. It's in Santa Monica. So if you're ever in the LA area, I train out of there. It's a beautiful gym. They have great classes you can go to if you're at any level. I don't know how many of you guys are even in California, but I got to rep my gym first and foremost. You can find my Instagram at Good Morning Freedom. And my coach on there, pretty much every post he's tagged in it. So there's that. But it's Coach Josue Romero of BC. So find him. And yeah, I mean, you guys feel free to, I mean, you're over here saying, don't DM me. You're welcome to DM me if you want to talk.
Yeah, I'm just messing about that. Yeah.
So definitely always down to meet new people, support other fighters, people that are interested in fighting, boxing, martial arts fans. Yeah, I'm about it. I'm about the community. I love the community.
Does your gym have a sparring night? Like, is there a night that it's like open gym sparring? Anybody can come in and spar?
It is. They do a Friday night sparring class, which is new. And it's mostly members. There is people at all levels. It's mostly like kind of intermediate. There's a couple of advanced people there. And then
all of a sudden he's a boxer now.
And then Saturdays sometimes they'll do sparring. Yeah. A lot of my sparring, my coach sets up for me, and we just have people come in to get work, or we'll go to other gyms to get work, just to kind of curate exactly the kind of work that I am getting.
A little variety.
We don't get in there with anyone, but there's definitely things that like I'm working on. So we'll try to like figure out people that would be good for me to work with to like, drill certain things or.
So yeah, if anybody's in the LA area, hit her up, go to the gym, get some sparring in, hang out, meet the newest member of Streetbeefs West Coast. Yeah. All right, Jade, I appreciate having you on, buddy. You have a good night.
Yeah, thanks for having me. You too.
For sure. Later. So yeah, that's that, people. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Um, this week I have Unknown, Streetbender, Demon Monsoon, and Scarface all locked in. So keep an eye out for all the announcements for these, man. And you guys have a good day.